Hi, this is a brief video about the features of Zoom. And so as a host of a meeting, you have some settings that are already enabled and then some settings that you will have to activate prior to your next meeting. So we're going to start with this share screen. And as the host, you always have this green button available to you. You also have this up caret, which will give you advanced sharing options, which will allow all participants to share their screen. You should do this as the host during a meeting as opposed to a pre-selected setting because you don't want people just randomly throwing their screens up in your meeting. When you click on the share screen button, you have apps, the internet, and other things to share. You also have the whiteboard. So when you share the whiteboard, it pops up. It's a blank sheet of paper, and you have different functions. So you can draw with objects or arrows. You can enter in text. You can use stamps to highlight information. Also use the spotlight to highlight as the red laser pointer or the arrow. You have the eraser to erase annotations one by one. You can also clear all your drawings through the clear option. And then you have formatting, which is the color that you're using, the line width, and then the font, how it appears on the screen. If you wanted to download that, you have the ability to save as well. But we get out of the white screen. I'm sorry, this little icon down here means you can add a page. So then you'll be able to go back between pages 1 and 2. When we get out of the whiteboard, we go back to our Zoom meeting. And then you have other options to engage your students. You have polls, you have chat, and you have breakout rooms. These are settings that you need to initiate or engage in your Zoom profile before they show up on your toolbar. But so during a meeting, you have the ability to ask questions of your students. You can do that in real time by editing and asking the questions now, or you can set up the polls prior to and have them ready to go during your meeting. You can also have the chat, which is an easy way to ask questions back and forth. You also have the option that participants can only chat with you. So it's a one-person communication, so the kids aren't chatting to everyone in the class. But if you have that ability also. Lastly, you have breakout rooms. And so you can set this up prior to your meeting. If you know who's going to show up, you can assign them meeting rooms, or you can do it automatically or even manually during the meeting. But because I have no participants here, I can't divide up, I can't assign rooms. But you have that ability, and then you as the host can jump in between breakout rooms easily. And you can set timers. So you can give them a 2-minute warning, a 5-minute warning, whatever you need to before they come back to the whole group again. And so, like I said, they are in your settings when you are in your Zoom profile. There are so here's the chat under basic meeting settings. You want to enable the chat. I wouldn't save the chat in any way. I don't think there'd be any need to. Then here is polling. You need to turn that on. Here's the whiteboard. You can allow participants to share their whiteboard, which may be useful as opposed to sharing their screens. It's a little more controlled atmosphere. And then in the advanced meeting settings, here are the breakout rooms. And so again, if you click this button, you can assign them prior to, when you're scheduling the meeting. So those are the functions and the features of Zoom. Hopefully they help you engage your students in your class.